If, just a caution, if you bring minor changes to the text, we won't be adopting this one.
Oh, why is that?
Well, then you've got to go back to every jurisdiction that has passed or has already passed it and ask them to repass it.
That wasn't in our local.
It's not in their local, but I don't think they're going to want to have their signature on different pieces of paper that each defeats the purpose.
I guess if this is a declaration of support and not an interlocal agreement, as long as the content, as far as the laying out the green standards, is intact, I mean, why couldn't we just change some of the words or delete a few of the words, but it's still a declaration of support?
I agree with that. I don't believe at that point it is the same declaration of support that everybody else has done. It becomes a different one. You may as well write your own, which then gets right back to, we're going to do our own thing. Let's leave this name blank on this one.
Is that an actual ruling on that, or is that your opinion?
I certainly wouldn't if another mayor came to me and said, okay, changing it.
But
Okay, we'll send it through. We'll have to put it back through
No,
again.
I'm just saying, if it's not interlocal, it's just a public declaration of support.
I don't dice the words either way. I mean, what they're asking for is for everybody to agree to sign this document.
And I agree with the contents or the purpose of where it's going. But I'm just saying there may need to be a sentence or two that needs to be cut out through amendment. And doesn't change the heart of it.
Need to be for what reason, though?
So I can actually vote for it.
It doesn't answer the question, but
I just don't see in this whole declaration of support why it's important to mention anything about stimulus in it.
so it does come back to that. And I think Joanne tried to answer that. That's where the county in Vancouver came from.
Right.
You know, part of the resolution, why are you putting a resolution together? Well, one, their funding source called for, they had to do a resolution.
So, but if I
Not
strike
much way to
it,
talk around that issue in there.
so I'm saying if I strike that sentence,
Why would you need to?
why not?
Why are the words American Recovery Revitalization Act so horrible
What does that
in the
have to-
use of their
right,
words?
but what does that have to do with voluntary green standards? Because see, what I'm trying to get at is I really don't think this is about voluntary green standards at the end of the day. I think what this is about is getting everyone in the same boat.
I disagree
So-
with that. I think it's getting everybody in the county in the same boat in regards to voluntary green standards.
Right. So then it shouldn't be a big deal just to strike a sentence.
If you want to strike the sentence, I will not sign it before I send it on to all the other jurisdictions to see if they will go through and strike the same sentence, if that's where it ends up going.
I just don't think that it has to be done all across the jurisdiction. We're still passing the same document, we're just striking.
No, you're not passing the same document.
And it's not interlocal, so it's non-binding.
It's a
So,
document that you're
I don't
being
know
asked
why
to sign.
I'm playing devil's advocate with you because I know that the stimulus wants that language in there because it's part of their mandate on the administrations and municipalities that accept the stimulus money, that they have that wording in there.
There's no other reason for them to have had it in there except for it to be a requirement, John. The money's already spent. It's not a horrible thing to have that in there when you're going through and trying to adopt something countywide that assists the construction industry.
Right.
If that's where you want it to go, I don't think you'll find a whole lot of folks that really want to go after that side from the other cities, but we can certainly ask the question. I think, again, it's going to be one of those notices going out from Washougal of, we want to play, but we want to play by our own rules.
By
It's-
striking one sentence.
Yeah. I do, but Jennifer?
Okay. I will support this declaration as long as it stays voluntary. The day that it doesn't stay voluntary and becomes a mandate is the day that I won't support it. I think it does promote a partnership across the county. I can see how it would help with consistency in permitting, inspections, because developers do have to go to the county for still for permitting and inspections, and Vancouver as well. So even when they're building out and with, throughout the other cities. So I can see why this would be beneficial. I also see another benefit in marketability throughout the county. If they can use this, the BIA or other industries can use this to help, bring green developers to our area through the markets. I think that, they can say, well, wherever you build in our county, these are our standards, and it's A, B, C, D, and it's not as much of an issue. So, I do support it.
Any additional comments, questions? Moving on, Joanne, sign regulations.
Yes, the planning commission has had 6 work sessions on this, and they had a public hearing. And after the public hearing is when I bring it to you with the recommendations. However, it came to our attention just prior to bringing it to you, but after the public hearing, that there's some things in our code and some in our existing code, plus some things that the planning commission recommended adding that could be unconstitutional. And so we need it to go back to planning commission specifically to review it for legal, for potential litigation to the city. And so they were particularly interested in some specific exemptions that we list that we should not be listing as exemptions. We cannot call out one group, for example, over others, such as open house for realtors. That's allowing something for one group that wouldn't be allowed for the others. So I'm requesting that you will say that it needs to go back, and you will approve that, going back to the planning commission for additional public hearings.
Questions?
Sounds like we're doing our homework.
Yep.
Get it done before it comes to council.
Planning commission's gonna love this one.
Oh, yeah.
Did they love the first part?
They worked really hard on it. They
All 8 or
really
9
did.
meetings.
And they had great ideas, but some of those ideas could get the city into some trouble.
Thank you, Joanne. Chief? Mutual aid.
Before you is the mutual aid agreement that all of the law enforcement agencies within our counties, Community County, are operating under. We've had this in effect since about 2000. And at the last law enforcement council meeting, the prosecutor's office felt that because it's an older document that we probably should refresh the signature page. And that they will, at this point in time, so we just want to obtain new signatures from staff and legal on this. The PA's office will begin to review this document to see if there's any change that they feel need to be met down the road. But that probably won't happen until fall or sometime first part of next year. So we're just, the request was just to get new signatures by all of the participating.
Does this allow people, say a detective from Camas